Did that fix it finally? Let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm live. Look at that. Look at that. Who would have thought? Okay. Did it crash already? No, it did not. Okay, perfect. I'm annoyed. I was going to talk to you about human culture sharing, cooperation, cohesiveness, the fact that we would still be cavemen throwing poop at each other and scavenging for food in a cave with a stick if it wasn't for community and cooperation. But I'm just kind of annoyed because of technical issues, so I'm just gonna smack this guy's horse like 5 times in a row. And then get hit, apparently. I guess. And then get hit again. Too early. What a dork. What kind of dork goes too early like that? Oh, I hate Ronald Reagan. Okay. It's so crazy that if he hadn't ruined our tax system and deregulated all these corporations, I wouldn't be dying to this stupid night. It's really wild. Yeah, I know. You saw me. Come on. I'm gonna run up on you. You're gonna come down. You're gonna turn around. I'm gonna run up on you. I'm gonna slap you like 5 times. Let's go. Andrew Jackson's a hoe too. Oh, don't run off. Don't run off. Let me hit you. Man, you're a... I thought I rolled out of that. Okay. What are we doing here, man? Okay. This time. This time. Come on, dude. No. That was so... Yeah, whatever, dude. That's so delayed. God. So delayed. Okay. Fun fact. Fun fact. The Doge cuts to US aid have already killed 600,000 people. There's your fun fact. I'm going to just start giving fun facts when I die. I did it the other night. I'm going to do it again. This seems silly. Alright. Come on, dude. I can't just walk behind that. Oh, you hooker. I'm just mollywopping him, but then I got greedy. I got greedy. I am dropping so many frames. I gotta fix this. I feel like nobody's gonna watch this until I fix the frame drops. I need an Ethernet cord. I have to run an Ethernet cord through the wall. It's the only way this is gonna work. It's the only way. Otherwise, I just sit here forever. Mouse. It's not an Ethernet cord. It's an HDMI cable. This will be fun to watch. I hope so. I've been crashing out because I've been dropping frames on the stream and I've been dying. So I hope you enjoy that. 'Cause that's probably what it's going to be. Also, Ronald Reagan's a hoe. Okay. We go again. Come on, bro. Just keep getting clapped by that. Ah! I did not think that one was gonna hit. Bro, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Okay. This one. This one's the one. Channeling the power of Stone Cold Steve Austin into this bald tarnished. Alright, come on down. Okay. I rolled! I'm glad you're having a good time. I will have a good time. Let me woosah. Woosah. Stone Cold was the wrong choice. He's the GOAT, but that was the wrong choice. Maybe Bill Goldberg is the appropriate selection. Yeah, I fought him a long time ago. Not a long time ago. When I first got the game. I've got one other character on this game, and I fought this guy, but I was fully armed, fully armored. Was not a level 1. Okay. Come on. That seemed like it should not have hit. Just doesn't matter. I just get him to half health and then he just one-shots me. Now would be a good time to talk about the fact that Ronald Reagan was a union-busting, foreign government overthrowing, anti-American nerd. This was just a bad start. This is probably not the one, because that was a rough start. I was trying to think about the crap I wanted to talk about Reagan, and I just... Bro, how many times in a row can he attack? That's nuts. That was like a 20-hit wombo combo. Just get one shot. I would not be shocked if my blood pressure is elevated right now. It's not as bad as last time. It got to the point eventually where I would fight him and then I would just have a little bit of a mental breakdown. We're not there yet. We might get there, but we're not there yet. Okay. Enhance the calm. Level 1, no clothes with a club. Mollywoppin'. Oh. Okay, whatever. Come on, do the thing. Not that thing. Do the thing. Yeah, that one. I know that one. Come on. Gotcha. Come on. Come on. Come on. That was really greedy. Ah! Oh, no! Oh, that was it. He was so low. I got super greedy at the end. Ugh. Yeah, that's... You know what, though? That was not frustrating, because that is by far the furthest I've gotten. I will take that. I should have a death counter. I know this game is not trendy anymore. I should just have a death counter. Like, I feel like a lot of streamers had death counters when they played this game however many years ago when it came out. I feel like I should just throw one of those on. Okay, this is it. He was like below 20% there. This is gonna be the one. I was kind of flowing a little bit there. Why am I meant to hit F. Okay. I rolled that. I don't know why. Come on. Come on! I hit it. I feel... I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay. So... I don't know why I'm collecting flowers like I'm not just gonna die again. If you guys saw that study I threw in my video today, it was an argument for, and there's a bunch of others on it, how our ability to cooperate and work cohesively and share our cultures, hey, thank you, sir, I appreciate that, is what made us what we are, what made us the dominant species on Earth. Okay, that was stupid. Like cheesing him down half health. And then I just get one shot. Yeah, our ability to cooperate. I mean, you think about, okay, to a lesser degree. Think about orcas, dolphins, whales, wolves, lions. Any dominant, like near the top of the chain creature, with the exception of like sharks, they all work together. They all work in packs. And the improvements we make as a society come from cooperation. And like, imagine how far behind science would be where it is now if we didn't collaborate across countries and between schools and universities in different areas. Like, it just... I'm I I understand because I know what it's actually about, but I don't understand the... Oh, so he can just phase through once he does the swing, he can just clip through. That's cool. So I don't understand... I understand from a racism, tribalism, white nationalism type of perspective. I understand why right-wing people are arguing for the things that they're arguing for, and isolationism and all that stuff. But from a human advancement and excellence point of view, I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. Because if you look into it at all, it makes far more sense for us to just work together and try... Like, every time we just integrate technologies from different societies and then improve on them, and just... It turns that scale... Turns the line, rather, exponential. Like, the curve for growth and for advancement and things like that just goes up and up and up and up and up. I just don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand not wanting that improvement. That was greedy. I should have known. See, he just throws the 4-hit combo. 0. You like shirt? Thank you. This shirt, I believe, came from Walmart. And then I tie-dyed it. Can't get this. They don't sell this. I made this. Anyway, I was kind of distracting myself before the run, but you get the idea. Like, okay, people are talking about when I'll discuss public transportation, specifically high-speed rail, because I like trains. I'm definitely not autistic. I like trains. I want high-speed rail. People argue that the vastness of the U.S. makes it impractical. That's actually the opposite. The vastness of the U.S. is why we need high-speed rail connecting the major cities. That was early. That was on me. I was talking as... That was on me. It was a good start, but I just... But the vastness of the United States is why we need high-speed rail connecting the major cities, and then sufficient public transport inside the cities, streetcars, monorails, buses, bike lanes, walkable cities, right, where the cars aren't the focus, things like that. But we can't build high-speed rail for the cost or at the rate or as efficiently as China, for example. What we should be doing is cooperating, both of us, back and forth on the things that we do well. And we should be reallocating resources away from our military and towards things like that, because we way overspend on military. It's been ridiculous for decades. Okay. Hit him! I can't get out of the horse's balls. I'm gonna die. And I'm sorry, I know I interrupted my thought mid-thought. I'll pick it back up in a minute. No, I was... Hit him on the backswing. I should have just waited, rolled one more time, and then I can hit him like 3 times. So, we should be cutting our military spending by a drastic amount because we could cut it in half and still be outspending like the next 5 countries on Earth combined still, if we cut it in half. We spend an absurd amount on our military. So we should be cutting that and allocating it to public transit, high-speed rail. Yes. So we need to reconfigure how people think about empathy, because people like Mr. Leaned Left in the end advocated that empathy was a problem and actually a threat to the U.S. way of life and dangerous. Empathy is literally what made us the top dog and is why society functions. Oh, that didn't work. But, yes, more empathy, cut the military spending, funnel more money towards infrastructure, things like schools, hospitals, roads, high-speed rail primarily, in my opinion. Obviously schools, high-speed rail, hospitals, that would be key. Power, particularly renewable energy. Like, the fact that we have the capability to do enough solar to power the entire United States and we don't just kind of bothers me. If you think about Arizona, should be pushing for this so hard, it's unbelievable. They could do it in such a way. So if they did, and this is even, I think Elon's an idiot, right? He argued that they could do a 100 by 100 square mile area of solar panels, and it would be enough to power the entire United States. There is a massive empty area in Arizona. Yeah, much bigger than that. Same thing in New Mexico. This guy's freaking me out. Let me get back in my flow real quick. Get back in it real quick. Yep. I was mid-swing and I couldn't roll. That was stupid. But Arizona and New Mexico, both in their own states, have desert areas that could more than cover that space. Now, I wouldn't do it like that. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Arizona. I've spent good amounts of time in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area. They have so many parking areas that are covered with steel coverings, right, to prevent the sun from basically cooking the cars. Those covers have nothing on top of them. And then they have so many parking lots that don't have covers, right, where there's nothing on top of the steel covering, the pavilion that covers the parking spaces. By putting pavilions on every parking lot in Phoenix, or really any metro area in Arizona, especially in the desert regions. Okay. I thought I had timed that better. You could both keep cars... What the fuck? You could both keep cars cooler and provide energy for the city. And realistically, if you do it on every parking lot, and you think about how much parking space we have in the U.S. and in places like that, you're generating enough energy for the entire state and potentially more states just from covering your parking spaces with those steel pavilions and the solar panels. Not to mention the work that generates for like structural steel fabricators, the people who install the solar panels, the people who run electrical, like that's a massive construction project that keeps blue collar people working for an extended period of time. Those are the kinds of things we need to be doing, and we need to be cooperating with other nations who have done similar things and have done things more effectively. Just keep doing it. Too early. It's too early. But doing things like that, or like the areas in Japan, or somewhere else, where they've got bike lanes in the middle of their roads, their highways, their interstates connecting cities, so people can ride bikes in the middle, not have to worry about cars. They're covered on right and left by concrete barriers to protect them from the traffic. And then overhead is all covered by pavilions, and all of the pavilions have solar panels along the top. So it gives a bike lane for public transport, reduces carbon emissions, keeps pedestrians safe, reduces instances of crashes, and because more people can use the bike lanes, there's less traffic on the roads, so there's less congestion, and it generates energy. Those are the kind of things we need to be doing, where we're solving multiple problems at the same time by looking at what other places have done and trying to emulate the successes they've had. That was stupid. Okay, I'll just go myself. I want to talk to you guys about this stuff, but at the same time, I feel like I'm getting myself killed by not actually focusing on fighting the guy, but I don't know if anyone cares. But I feel like people won't watch for an extended period of time if I'm just stuck on this guy day after day after day after day after day after day after day. So maybe I will take a breath and just focus on the fight this time, and we'll see if that goes any better. He timed up the shoulder check with me swinging my freaking weapon. Okay, come on. I guess I didn't roll. There we go. Come on. Apparently I rolled too fast. He's dying. Well, that didn't work. I said I was going to focus and it was going to go better. The best run I've had, where I got him down to like 10, 15%, I was not focused at all. Although I did start locking in like halfway through. So anyway, global cooperation. I'm optimistic because I think this administration is massively unpopular, even with right-wingers. Because I live in an area where, unfortunately, there are a lot of right-wingers. I live in a red trifecta state. They don't like him. I've got one neighbor who still has a Trump flag in his backyard, but otherwise, I mean, they are just not... Okay. People don't... That was horrendous. I got 2 shots in. Otherwise, people are not happy with him. People don't enjoy the way things are going right now. They think the war is stupid. They think the culture wars are stupid. They think the surveillance state is bad. They think shoving through data centers and flock cameras is bad. They think funneling money to corporate executives is bad, and they think insider trading is bad, and they think enriching your family to the tune of billions of dollars is bad. Like, he's just not popular. Really, he's not. But can still do a lot of harm in the next however many years. But I'm optimistic that once he's out and you're seeing the rise of the DSA and people pushing further left and for more progressive policies that really benefit working class people, I think we're going to see a lot more of what I was talking about with international cooperation and solving multiple problems at once. Come on. Just running. No. Every time. At least once a battle, he catches me with the shoulder check as I'm swinging. Okay. What is this? Okay, come on. Yep. Yep. I thought I dodged that. I don't know. 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 I blame Andrew Jackson, Ronald Reagan, George Bush Sr. I blame Merrick Garland and his inactions. I blame McCarthy and the Red Scare. Yeah, all of those are why I lost that, by the way. Just for future reference. Come here. Okay. Oh! Yeah, well, because the multitasking, I feel like, almost throws you into a state where you're just kind of reading, like, you're doing a read and react. It's just happening. You're not having to think, what am I doing? I don't know why I just did that. You're not having to think about it, and so if you've got, like, the pattern down, or if you know what you need to be doing, and you're just not thinking about it, you're doing it without the added stress, so your body just kind of flows. I know I had similar experiences in fighting and football. Like, the best plays I ever made in football were when they were almost like oh shit moments. Like, I messed something up and I panicked, and my mind went blank, and you just start going. It was the same thing in fighting, where I feel like that was a bad one. It was the same thing in fighting, where I feel like when I was fighting, there were times where you just stop thinking and you just start fighting, and that was when I felt like I did the best. At least from a striking perspective, I feel like grappling, I always had to be thinking. Although in my fights, sometimes when I would chain wrestle on the cage, it would go better when I wasn't in, like, I wouldn't even intentionally do stuff. I would just get positions. I wouldn't even have thought about getting the position. It just seemed to almost come to me. So, who knows? I don't know. I'm sure there's science behind it. I know there's science behind athletes reaching flow state, but I'd have to look up more on multitasking, and it's probably a lot to do with stress. Okay. I just can't get it going. I had like 2 good runs, and now I can't get it going again. Golly. I don't know if you guys... Well, you guys have no idea. I'm just looking over. I need to get... Why am I doing this? I keep doing that, like, way ahead of time. I need to find a way to get an Ethernet cord routed through the wall to get down here to my computer because I am currently the number of dropped frames is 96,000, 53%, and it's climbing. So I apologize for the quality of the stream, or lack thereof. I'm gonna get that figured out. See, this has now happened 4 or 5 times where I've gotten in close like that, kind of almost clipped through, and he does the rear back where normally he's going to do that and then have a delayed smash, and he's doing the one where he rears back and then immediately swings right next to him. I think I've died to that 4 or 5 times in the last however many. I don't know. But yes, global cooperation will be the way forward. Unfortunately, we will have to wait until after this administration is out of power, however that comes about. But that will be the way forward. Cool. Cool. No, that's fine. That's fine. I didn't want to win anyway. I wanted to talk about the fact that religion has actually enabled a lot of the issues that we are currently facing in the US and around the world. Can we talk about the fact that Abraham was a schizophrenic who wanted to kill his son, and they based 3 of the world's major religions on it? No, just me? Anybody else think that was not a good thing to base your religions off of? I don't know. You know, I could be wrong. That guy, the voices he was hearing. Maybe I'm the crazy one. I knew you were going to do that. 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 He caught me in a chain. That was on me. I was drinking those at the wrong time. I should have just dodged around the back and timed him. I'm getting lazy as I discuss the fact that evangelical Christians have destroyed this country. And the fact that there's not a single logical pathway from atheism, which is simply the lack of a belief. Not a belief in itself, a lack of a belief. There's no logical pathway from that to mass violence, but there is a logical pathway from religious belief to mass violence. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. That was stupid. I stopped hiding. Yeah, whatever, bro. Shoulder check me. down here. Yeah, knock those trees over. I can't see. Okay. No, that's cool. That's cool. We go from all the different delayed hits to, like, I'm mid-swing and you decide you're going to do your one non-delayed just insta-swing. That's lit. I think that's dope. You know, I've only died to him like 100 or 200 times. I really don't think I'll have earned it until it's 400 or 500. So this is good. This is great for me, personally. You know, it just gives me more time to talk about the fact that these religious books inherently incite violence, and we have people trying to create theocracies in countries that are not supposed to be theocracies, and it's directly leading to enabling the evil people who we have in power, who do not believe in these things as an actual hang on. Distracted. That was a good start. That wasn't. Okay, never mind. That was not a good start. That combo in particular, I'm somehow mistiming the initial swing and then the third swing. You didn't know I fought. Yes. In a cage. It's very dumb. I do not recommend it. I even won, I guess technically the majority, since I only fought 3 times and I won 2 of them. And let me tell you why it's dumb. You've got the obvious issues of the violence and the pain and whatever, what have you. But the damage you take for nothing, for no reason. Like, I did it because I wanted to know if I could. I wanted to know if I could fight. Like, I think a lot of guys think they can fight. I wanted to know, you know, similar sized guy, because I'm not small, so like I have an inherent advantage. Wow. That's what I get for yapping again. Didn't delay it. But the damage you take fighting, especially amateur, if it goes the full length, is for no money. And I made a lot of money for an amateur. So my first fight, I made $200 maybe. Right? I got sponsors, but my sponsors basically paid for the costs of me paying my coach for individual one-on-one striking lessons, because I had wrestled for X amount of years growing up, and I played football, and the grappling and the jiu-jitsu kind of came a little bit more naturally to me. The striking did not. So my sponsor money all went to him, essentially. And then my payout ended up being like $200 for my first fight. And my first fight went to the 3rd round, right? And I won, but I mean, I legitimately have a dent in my shin, in my tibia, still, from that fight. So I have a dent in my tibia that's still there. That leg was swollen I rolled the wrong way. That was my chance. My leg was swollen. We went to the... It was in Kansas City. We went to the Power and Light District after. To the Shark Bar. To do... Just to hang out, right? Party. I'm not delaying that enough. To hang out and party after the fights. I ended up in one of the sections. There was a bunch of other fighters. We just all kind of ended up hanging out because we had seen each other at the show and then we were at the bar. And I ended up in a chair with my leg propped up, and every time the bass hit, it would throb my leg because my right leg was swollen up to... My right shin and calf area was swollen up to twice the size of my left because I threw a leg kick the same time he threw a leg kick. But because I went first, mine got there first while he was still bringing his leg up. So my shin connected with his kneecap, like his knee as he started his. So dented my shin, messed that up. I had black eyes on both sides. I can't imagine how he felt. I won the fight, right? Like, I can't imagine how he felt after that. Oh, that didn't work. That was stupid. I should have rolled towards him. Boo Reagan. And his wife. His wife sucks too. Ronald Reagan has caused almost all of our economic and international problems of the last 10 to 20 years. Like, he's like a root cause. It's crazy. Middle East, the growing disparity in income, foreign coups and interjections and stuff. Hitler hated evangelicals. Hitler was a Roman Catholic. The first concordat between the Nazis and fascist Italy was done via the Vatican. The Nazis who escaped Europe after World War II did so through the Vatican, which then funneled them into Argentina. They were literally in cahoots with the church. Their belt buckles said God mit uns, which means God with us. The Nazis were inherently Roman Catholic and Lutherans who leveraged that as a way to push their ideals to their citizens and make it more palatable. So you've got Roman Catholics and Lutherans in Germany. Same thing in Italy. And then Hirohito basically called himself a god emperor. So literally all three of them were motivated by religion. So you can basically put all the deaths of World War II, Jesus Christ, on religion, if you wanted to. It would be very easy to do. It would be very easy to do. Factually. I don't know why my lights turned off. It's dark as hell. Hang on. I'm gonna go figure out why my lights are off. One second. Turn these back on. Here we go. Yeah. So, you can try to take religion's role out of that kind of stuff. It's not gonna work. Because, unfortunately, when you leverage religion, it enables you to get away with stuff. Because, I mean, even think about what we've got going on in the Oval right now, right? And the evangelicals who, like, excuse the horrible things that the president has done. And, I mean, how many times did you guys see them or hear them say, well, you know, God will send an imperfect vessel to carry out his perfect plan, right? Imperfect is about the understatement of the fucking century. That guy's a dirtbag, right? He paid $3 million to 3 separate children, 90s and 2000s, that alleged him of rape. I think the youngest was 10 years old. It was like 10 to 14 years old. 1 or 2 of them were boys. And then $1 million to another one. Just settled with him when they accused him. Like just a horrendous person. And they're just like, God uses imperfect vessels for his perfect will. I'm like, shut up. You're just racist. Like, it's not. But when you use religion to justify these things, it makes it more palatable to certain subsections of your population, and they'll just accept whatever you're doing because they'll just take it as in line with what they believe, and it makes them feel like they're part of the in crowd. They're not the ones being hurt, so it doesn't. That was crazy. So it doesn't matter to them as much, right? See, I'm back to where I'm just yapping again, and I'm not even thinking about the fight. He also did a weird jump combo that he hasn't done before. But I mean, it's all enabling, right? When you think about Ken Paxton in Texas, right? And right now, one of the big MAGA right-wing things is we're going to keep Sharia law out of the United States. It's not here. You've got Christian nationalism here, which is basically the same thing, but they're getting people who are just inherently terrible, like Ken Paxton, who's an abuser, but because he's against the proper religion, they don't care, right? He's against the religion that they're scared of, so they don't care. And okay. And is supposedly a Christian, so they just go along with it, even though he's a sex criminal. Like, I don't know. I think, I think about the burning of Alexandria and all the knowledge lost there, and there's no way to do it, but I think if you could mind wipe people from, as far as religion, like just take it from their minds as if it never existed, and all they know is science and what they were taught in history, and boom, you start again right there. I think we objectively just end up with a better world to live in. Because it also, when people think that there's something else, they're more willing to tolerate suffering and affronts to the human experience here in this lifetime, because oh, the bad guys will get their punishment in the next life and I'll get my reward. But the reality is the bad guys don't believe in that, and they need to be punished now, because we should be making things better now for the people who are alive now, because the only evidence we have, right, the only convincing evidence we have is that this is it. And if this is it, we need to make this the best possible, because this is your only shot, right, with this consciousness. Too early. It's too early. Did that guy delete his comment? Did that guy delete his comment about Hitler hating evangelicals? No, I bet you YouTube deleted it because he said Hitler. I betcha. I betcha. You betcha, bud. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of just talking and I don't know how far along I got there. I know I got halfway through the fight because he started doing the jump stuff with the shockwaves, but I have no idea how far I really got. That sounds ultra painful. Are you talking... Okay. Is my chat delayed? Are you talking about the... Are you talking about the fight stuff I was discussing earlier? I have no idea how delayed my stream is. I didn't put a delay on it, but it very well could be. Okay. No. See, you and this shoulder check, man. Because if you're talking about my shin from fighting, yes, it was ultra painful. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Can I pull my stream up? Oh, you guys are way behind. Holy cow. What in the world? Hang on. Hang on. You guys are so far behind, it's crazy. Let me see if I can sign in and chat. Hang on. There was an error. Why was there an error? I don't understand. Oh, it's opening Chrome now. Okay. Why? Docs. Chat. Yeah, it's just way behind. Oh, it's because of how many frames I've dropped. That's crazy. Okay, sorry guys. Once you get here to this point in the stream, I can't chat, apparently, even though I signed in. It says, welcome to live chat. Sign into chat. I signed in, gave me an error, said I wasn't signed in. So once you get to this part, please understand the stream is now apparently about 10 minutes behind at least where I'm at, which is insane. I have no idea why the stream is so far behind. I'm wondering if it's because of the dropped frames. I've dropped about 54% of the frames. Maybe that's it. That could very well be it. So really I need an Ethernet cable is what I need to stop this from happening, because this keeps happening where I can't. Yeah. All right, turn around. This is it. Oh no. Ooh, get me out of there. Come on. No! These are like 10-20%, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. See, now I don't know. Now I don't know what to talk about because you guys are so far behind. But yes, I will finish the discussion about my fighting. Yes, fighting sucks. Fighting is stupid. I won the first 2 fights. I lost the third one. I took more damage in the 2 fights that I won. I finished both of those fights, by the way. I took more damage in the 2 fights that I won than in the fight that I lost, where I basically took no damage. And the first fight, I made all of $200 for a dent in my shin that is still there. The second fight I made more because I sell a lot of tickets because people want to watch me. You know, it's marketing, it's, you know, having friends, socializing. But I was in a position where, so my first fight, even though I only made $200, and that doesn't sound like a lot, it was from the number of tickets I sold, and that got me bumped from I was supposed to be the... No, wait, it just crashed. No shot, it just crashed. That's crazy. That's crazy. But the first fight I made $200. I sold enough tickets that they bumped me from being the second fight on the card to there were 5 fights, then an intermission, then 5 more, then an intermission, then the main event, I think. They bumped me from the second fight all the way after the first break because the more tickets you sell, the later in the show you go on. So I went on later in the show because I sold more tickets. The second fight I did, I sold enough tickets that we went on 2 or 3 before the co-main, which is where all my money came from, was sponsorships and selling tickets. And then, yeah, I know it's going to lose progress because it just crashed. And then the third fight, I sold enough tickets that I think we were the last amateur fight before they did the professional main and co-main. So with the amount of tickets I sold, I was basically making the most you're going to make as an amateur fighter, like, period. Not worth it. I maybe took home from my fighting, I generated probably $8,000 to $10,000. I took home maybe $1 or $2 grand over the course of that 9 or 10 month period that I was fighting. Now I trained before that fighting, right? So it was more like a 1.5 year segment of my life, but I took home maybe $2,000 for 16 months of work. It sucks. It's terrible. You get brain damage from it. I damaged my shin, messed up one of my shoulders, and all I've got to show for it is, okay, I know I could hold my own against a guy my size, because again, I'm bigger than most people, so I didn't want to test myself against somebody smaller. That's stupid. And I also don't street fight because you die if you street fight. Eventually you will die or have some sort of catastrophic life-altering injury or traumatic brain injury. I wanted to know if I could beat somebody my size, if I could hold my own. I can. Now I know that. So out of all the damage I took, after a decade of playing football, where I played in college on the defensive line, and just banged my head into other stuff all the time. I then go and fight for a year and a half and just take all those shots to the head. And what I've got to show for it is I made $2,000 and I know I can fight now. I don't really think it was worth it. I think the first fight, I'm happy I did the first fight. I took damage. I took a lot of damage. It altered some things, but like I won, right? And I finished him. And it... See, your chat just came through. That's so crazy. You guys are like 10 minutes behind me. This is wild. This is crazy. Your chat just came through. I pulled up the chat on my phone to make sure. You guys are just that far behind. I think because my internet connection is so bad. Okay, he's just going to run away this time. That's cool. Just insta-died. That's fine. I was busy talking anyway. I was yapping. So, I took all that damage, and I had my first fight. And I would go back and I would do that again. And that guy was cool. I'll tell you something. Amateur fights are supposed to end fast. If you're in an amateur fight and you get on top of somebody and start hitting them, the ref's basically supposed to call it. Or if you get them in a submission, even if they don't tap, because the refs are supposed to be trained, right? And if they see you got somebody in an arm bar, say, and they know that if you extend the hip fully, you're going to snap their arm, and you've got their thumb up, when you grab that and you start to go, even if they don't tap, the ref stops the fight. Or if you get on top of somebody and you're hitting them, but you're not, like they're not unconscious, but you are in mount or top, you know, you're in side control or top half, but you've postured up, you've pinned a wrist, and you're now dropping fists, elbows, whatever. In an amateur fight, a ref is supposed to stop that fight right there. Because you're not getting paid, because you're amateurs, because the goal is to avoid damage, and if your intent is to fight professionally eventually, taking excessive damage just ends that. It's part of why high-level guys, like really high-level guys, champions, they'll lose their championship and then they'll never get it back because they'll take career-altering damage. Yes, there's the hit to the confidence, but there's career-altering damage and things that happen to your brain, and it can kind of add up over time, and they never get back to that same level. So the goal with the amateur fights is to make it where guys don't... So you said, I'll test and see if you can see us right now. That'll let me know if things are back on track. That just came through for me just now. So whenever you see this, on my clock it says 8:54 p.m. I'm Central Time. So that's where you guys are at. But they're supposed to stop it immediately. When I fought my first fight in the second round, I took him down. And I can just show you guys this here in a minute. And I still know this guy. He actually went on to win a bunch more fights. I took him down. And I hit him, I think, in the neighborhood of 20 to 30 times from full mount. And the ref did not stop the fight. His mouthpiece fell out. I knocked his mouthpiece out of his mouth. The ref didn't stop the fight. That's not how an amateur fight is supposed to go. Right? And then the second fight ended because I threw a takedown, threw a leg in, and his foot stayed planted, and it tore his knee apart. I tore the guy's knee apart on accident, is what happened. But we were in the third round. And the first fight was in the third round. And the fight that I lost ended the way amateur fights are supposed to end, which is I went down. He basically shoved me down. The commentators were like, I didn't see the shot that took him down. And that's because there was no shot that took me down. He pushed me down. And then he got on top, started punching. I covered up. And the ref stopped the fight, which is what's supposed to happen in an amateur fight, right? Amateur fight is not the time to test how tough a guy is and see how much damage they can take. That's for professionals where it's becoming, whatever, where it's part of their career and that's what they're going to try to do with their life. That's when you let those guys go to war, go out on their shield, whatever you want to call it. And even at that level, you think about fights like if any of you guys watched, I'm not going to throw the name out there, but there have been fights in the UFC and One and Ryzen where guys have been just getting smashed and they need to end the fight and they don't. But the pros is where that can happen. Amateur, that's not supposed to happen. Hang on. I'm going to show you guys that. I actually want to show you guys this because this is encoding overloaded. Yeah, I figured that out. I'm going to show you this because you guys were going to find this eventually anyway. No, that's not what I want. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to move this. Let me show you this. Okay. So, turn off the closed captions. This is my first fight, okay? I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, okay? Also, look how stupid I look. Watch, my coach tells me to take the middle. Hang on. He tells me to take the middle. I take the middle, and I don't do anything. I'm just standing there. I'm just standing there. I'm not...
The famous words of Junie Brown.
Oh, I'm just going to stand there. Let me bounce. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing... Oh, hey, there you finally throw back after the guy throws. So stupid. So dumb. I had no idea what I was doing. So silly. But we will go... Let me just show you what I'm talking about, okay? Second round. An amateur fight, when I take him down, this is what's supposed to happen. When I take him down here, if I start successfully landing shots from the top, they're supposed to call this in an amateur fight to protect the fighters. And I'll show you what they did for mine in a little bit because it's how they should have done it. The fight that I lost is the way they're supposed to ref amateur fights.
Johnson
so I get on
able
top.
To secure the takedown, though.
I'm just going to mute this so you can't hear the announcers. And we're fighting, right? I'm trying to posture up, but he's holding me. Now there's 2 shots. You might count it, you might not. I'm in top half right now, okay? He starts to turn. Okay, I postured up. Okay, there's 1 solid one. He's fighting. Let's see if this is the right spot in the fight. Okay, so he's going to come up to his feet now, and then it'll be what I'm trying to show you. So after he comes up to his feet, hang on. So he comes up. I throw him back down. 1, okay. Just keep count, okay. 2. Just think about it. We'll get there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm in full mount now. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to the side of the head. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3. His mouthpiece is over there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I hit him 30-something times from mount. I hit him 30-something times from mount. His mouthpiece is right there. He thinks the fight's over, by the way. That's why he's laying there. Look at his coach runs in and is like, he's like, come on, come on, come on. That's not how an amateur fight is supposed to go. Let me show you how an amateur fight is supposed to end. Okay? I'll show you me losing now. I did obviously finish that fight in the next round. So, here's me losing a fight. Where we at? Okay. So, it's quick. He hits me. I turn away from the punch. I'm back against the cage. You'll notice my feet are out in front of me, so I start to fall down. He pushes down on top of me there. I cover up. Watch how quickly this fight ends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He jumps in, right? That's how it's supposed to go when you're doing an amateur fight. That's how those are supposed to go. That's how it's supposed to end. It didn't, right? But that's how those are supposed to go. So my first 2 fights were very odd because I basically got on top of both guys multiple times and was dropping elbows and fists or whatever, and they didn't call the fight. Even though it's an amateur fight, and in that first one, I'm 0-0, he's 1-0, you're supposed to call that fight quick. It's different if they're amateurs who are about to turn pro, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 amateur fights. You've won a bunch of them. Okay, it's basically a pro fight, like a low-level pro fight. Let it go. But not an 0-0 guy and a 1-0 guy. You know, it just silly. Doesn't make sense. So, in conclusion, fighting is stupid. Fighting in a cage is stupid. I now know I can fight and would beat most people my size and under, but would probably lose to people who are more well-trained. Like, somebody's a legit competition brown black belt in jiu-jitsu, you know, been fighting for a lot longer, you know, even if they're slightly smaller, I still probably lose. No. I rolled. That was too early. That was too early. Don't knock that over. Okay. The real question is, how much longer should I go? Because I was technically only going to stream 2 hours, but there's quite a few of you in here from what I can see. Does that say 20, 25? So I don't know. I don't know. I've had some good runs. I don't know if I'm going to beat him tonight. We've talked about Reagan, we've talked about religion, we've talked about cooperation internationally, we've talked about fighting and how stupid it is and how you need to protect your brain. Okay. Well, that was pretty ass. But we've talked about a lot of the topics I wanted to cover, and now I'm kind of just fighting this guy, and I'm not doing super well. I'm kind of stubborn. I know I don't have to beat him. I am fully aware. Just so you guys know, when this game came out, I did make a character, and I did play a little bit through the game. I don't think I got halfway through. I think I was maybe 10%, a quarter of the way through the game, but I beat him and I beat Godric the Grafted or whatever his name was. And that was about it. Maybe another couple mini bosses. But I know I beat a boss through a portal somewhere that gave me like a wolf sword or something. I don't know. Okay, cool. Cool. No, yeah, that's whatever. It's good. It's good. It's great. Love it. So, I know I don't... Point being, I know I don't have to fight this guy. But I think at this point, I've now spent 4 hours of stream. Like 2 hours the other day, 2 hours today, fighting him. I feel like I just kind of have to do it now. Like, I feel like this is... I feel like if I don't beat him now, even though I'm naked with a club, this was all wasted time, you know what I mean? That's probably sunk cost fallacy, but that's what I'm feeling. Okay. Ah! I tried to aura farm. I tried to jump smash him. I don't know. Maybe I'll run till 9:30. It's 9:07 my time, by the way. So if you guys are wondering how far off the stream is, it's pretty far off. I think we're lagging pretty hard. But so yeah, it's 9:07 Central Time right now for me. So whatever time it is when you see this, if it's 9:17 or 9:25, that's how far behind we are. Okay, come on. Okay, I'm clearly dodging into him on that jump swing. 20 minutes behind. That's crazy. Yo. You guys are 20 minutes behind me. That's wild. Okay, so I'm definitely going to cut it at 9:30. Just because I don't want to have such a bad quality of stream because I'm so delayed that you guys don't want to watch. I know some of you are still in here watching, but I will probably only run 20 more minutes, and then I will go find, I have like a 50-foot Ethernet cable. I'll go run it through the wall if I need to get it direct from the modem to my computer here so that I can have better stream quality, so that I'm not dropping as many frames. And knew that was coming. No. Golly, man. I feel like I'm so close, but I'm not. Like, I feel like every time I lock in and actually give it a solid effort and just am patient and wait for him to move and I stay close on his right side, I feel like I get him down to half health pretty easy and then drop him maybe another quarter. Okay. I don't know, that last 30% of his health, I just cannot get the rhythm down. I don't know why. Okay, so he slams his shield over there. I'm off his ass crack about 8 feet away, and the shockwave gets me. Like, I feel good about these runs until he's at 30%, and then I just don't... Like, would it make a difference if I went and got a better weapon and I could hit him just a little bit harder? Would it make a difference if I went and got... But then I feel like the clout from being bald and naked and beating him to death with a club is just higher. And I could probably clip it or something. I don't know. I'm not a live streamer. I guess I am now. But... Okay, so that's what happens when I... I have my stream pulled up. I can see where you guys are. You guys are just now seeing me talk about the fights. That's nuts to me, how far behind the stream is. Because I know after that, at some point, is when I say 9:07, and it's 9:14 right now for me. Wild. So you guys probably are 15, 20 minutes behind. Jesus. It's not even going to be hype when I kill this guy, because the chat's going to be so far behind, nobody's going to know I killed him until 20 minutes later. Oh, you dirty. Okay, like... And then I just get... Do I need to pull him back down to the bottom? Like, what am I doing here, man? Ah! Yeah, right? The delay in calling the fight. Like, you watch a guy wail on another dude 30 times. See, this is crazy how far behind you are. You see a guy hit another guy 30 times from a top position. Oh, this is a bad start. You see me hit another guy 30 times from a top position. And it's an amateur fight. There's nothing on the line. No money, no titles. Nothing. And you don't stop it. Wow. What is happening? He just, like... The range he has is unbelievable right now. Shake it out. Shake it out. Just 1 or 2 more or 5 more tries here. I'll get it eventually, I think. See, and now I had such a bad run the last couple because I'm not even getting to that second phase that when he starts doing the jump attacks, I'm now back to early rolling instead of patiently waiting for him to actually collide with the ground and then hitting the roll. I'm trying to frame the actual... Anyway. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We're going to go 10 more minutes. I'm probably not going to get it. Fuck Ronald Reagan, okay? That's what you... If you take anything away from this, that's what you need to take away from this. Know that. Know that. That's what it is. See, I feel like that was my normal good start, where I get like the 4 or 5 hits in off rip. I hit him 4 or 5 times, and then he usually staggers because I break his poise. But he didn't. So I did that extra risky swing when I should have just stopped and rolled and gotten out of the horse's ball sack area. But I didn't. I guess now would be a good time. I'm obviously playing Elden Ring. I want to play... I'll obviously improve the stream quality next time. I'll get an Ethernet cable hooked up and everything. I want to play Oblivion Remastered. I have no idea if you guys have any interest in watching me play that. It'd be much easier to talk about political and global topics playing that game because it's much more casual. But I don't know if you want to see that or what other thing. Eesh. Whatever. Or what other thing you guys would like to see me stream. Because I think I'm going to try and beat Elden Ring. Obviously after I beat this guy eventually, because I will eventually memorize his pattern. After I eventually beat him, you know, I'll start getting arms, armor, and it'll make things easier as I go on to other bosses, and I'll eventually beat the game. Yes. If I can beat him at level 1, it is bragging rights. You are correct. Big facts. All facts, no printer. We're out of ink. But yes, after I beat him, I'm gonna beat the rest of the game, which I never did when it came out. Okay, he's going to start the shockwave after this chain. Got it. Okay, got it. No shot. No shot. That was crazy. I did not think I was early there. I really have to wait on that. I have to wait so long on that shield jump. If I can get that down, the fight is over. Because the running and the swinging, like, I'll get the pattern down. But if I can get that down, run will be over. I'll beat him. It's that move in particular. Like, I'm dying to other stuff randomly. I'm dying to that consistently. So I need to delay the roll on the jump smash with the shield. Ah. What am I doing? That's not what I wanted. Oh, I can't see him. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. No. Oh, I did the late roll. It was too late. No. All right. God damn it. What are we doing here? Give me... One more time. One more time, one more time, one more time. No! I feel like I was doing so good. My God. I feel like I've got... I don't know if you guys can tell. I feel like I've got a good rhythm going, and then it's just... You get to that second phase, and I'm getting one-shot by the shield. Doesn't seem to matter what move it is. I'm not having to do no-hit, but I'm essentially having to do a no-hit run. Which is... I'm not... I shouldn't say I'm not there, because I could be. I've fought him enough times. Ah! No. Frickin' rolled right under his balls. Yes! Let's fucking go! Oh my god. My gosh. Somebody clip that if you guys know how to clip stuff. I don't know how to clip stuff. Golden Halberd. Wow. 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 Holy shit. I don't think that took like 5 hours of live stream time. That was insane. Jesus. And I can't level up yet? Do I have to go... Do I have to go to the church up there? That was insane. My heart is pounding out of my fucking chest. I became fully aware of what his health was when he was about 3 shots from dying, and I swear to you, my heart rate just went through the fucking roof. It was like I became aware and I just... That was insane. It's Santa Claus. Touch grass. Okay. Let me level up here. How do I level up? I really would like to level up, and I don't know why I cannot level up. Am I stupid?